Look at your bank account. Look at your grocery bills. You think you're losing money because you're spending too much? No, you're being taxed. You pay income tax, you pay property tax, you pay sales tax. You see those receipts and you know exactly how much they hurt. Fuck! But there's a silent tax that you pay every day. You never voted for it. You never signed a form to allow it. And it's draining your life savings right under your own nose. It's called inflation.
Holy schmolies! $20.71.
Before taxes.
Before taxes? Man, what's it made out of gold?
With tax, $22.46.
$22.46!
Inflation is not the weather. It doesn't just happen. Inflation is a policy. It's a weapon. It's the only way that the government can raise trillions of dollars for things like wars and bailouts without ever asking for your or my permission. Today, I'm gonna show you the greatest magic trick in financial history. I'm gonna show you why the price of everything has gone crazy lately, why corporations love it, and how we can stop being the victim and start being the beneficiaries. To understand how they steal your wealth, we have to go back to when the crime actually started. We have to look at the gold standard. For centuries, a dollar wasn't just paper, it was a claim check. It represented a specific amount of gold in a vault. This was crucial because it put the government in handcuffs. If politicians wanted to fund a massive war or a new project, they had two choices. Raise your visible taxes, which makes voters angry, or beg for your gold. But in 1971, those handcuffs came off. When we left the gold standard, the Federal Reserve gained a superpower: infinite liquidity. They could now print money to pay bills. But here's the physics of money. Scarcity is actually what creates the value. When you print trillions of new dollars, the dollars that have already existed, the ones that are in your bank account, become less valuable. They get the spending power of the new money now, you get the higher prices, and that gap, well, that's the actual tax. Now I know what you're thinking. Nick, what about all those greedy corporations who are stealing all your money and they're always bragging about the new record profits they're making? You're right, but you're blaming the opportunist and not the arsonist. Think of inflation like a heavy fog of war. When the government starts printing money, prices move erratically, and then this chaos creates cover. Corporations know that everyone expects prices to go up. So if their costs go up 10%, they might just charge 15% extra. Why? Because they can. Because in chaos, you won't notice that extra 5% increase. They use the government's inflation as a shield to protect their margin, which actually amplifies the inflation. But the government actually loves this. The government prints the money, inflation occurs, corporations raise prices, and the public blames the corporations.
They only have one value, and that's greed.
I just think it's corporate greed, plain and simple.
As long as you're screaming at the grocery store owner and the cereal company, you aren't looking at the Federal Reserve and the government. You aren't looking at their deficit spending, and you aren't looking at the wars. So many wars. The government lights the fire, corporations roast marshmallows over that fire, and you get burnt. The game is rigged, and your savings are melting like an ice cube in the Arizona sun. You can sit back and you can complain on social media how the world's against you, or you can build a plan and take control. Since you're still here, I know which one you've chosen, so let's take a second to build a battle plan. You must move your wealth from victim assets like cash to victor assets like owning properties and stocks and other appreciating assets. Step 1, stop hoarding and start yielding. You need an emergency fund, but if that cash is sitting in a bank account earning 0.01%, you're literally losing money by the second. Move your emergency fund to a high yield savings account or a money market fund. If you aren't earning around what the federal funds rate is on your cash, you need to pause this video and fix that immediately. Step 2, own what flips the bill. You need to own the companies that are raising their prices. The broad market index funds like the S&P 500 are filled with companies that have pricing power. When inflation hits, they raise their prices, their stock goes up, and you, the shareholder, benefit. Stop paying their higher prices and start collecting their dividends. Step 3, the opt-out. You need insurance against the printer itself. This is why we see a massive migration towards scarce assets like housing and Bitcoin. The government can always print more dollars, but what they can't print is more land and more than 21 million Bitcoin. These assets are backed by physics and code and not politicians. Leave a comment below if you want to see a video on Bitcoin and why people like Michael Saylor are all in on it. Inflation is a hidden tax on the uneducated. It's designed to transfer the money from the savers to the spenders, from the people to the government. Now that you see the invisible tax, you have a choice. You can either let it drown you or you can swim with the current. If you're fed up with politicians printing away your future for wars and bailouts that you never voted for, smash that like button to show them that you're watching. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on the new battle plan that we drop every Tuesday. Thank you and have a great day. Peace.